The feds just raided the Yo Gotti concert. They found out that Big Jook got set up, and the first person that they thought in mind was Yo Gotti had to have had something to do with it. So the feds pulled up. It was Yo Gotti's first time performing ever since Big Jook got hit up. He doesn't even do shows. Why would he do a show right after his brother got hit up? Don't you think that he would be afraid of the people who did that looking for him, unless he knows or he knew about what was going on and that he knows that he's safe? This is Memphis. It's a small town. Everybody knows that Maurice Hill traded in his Lincoln for a white SUV, and then guess who hit up Big Jook? It was a white SUV, but they took the plates off, so they can't actually track it back to anybody. This is where they have to look for the security footage of the street lights. You got to remember, Memphis has the sky cam. The sky cam sees everything, and this all happened right in front of a main area. The main road has the sky cam. All they got to do is literally pull up the footage and rewind it. When they rewind the footage of the surveillance, they could see before everything happened, where did the white car come from? And then if they keep going to the next street down and the next camera down, they could see exactly where the white SUV came from, and they can actually find the exact moment where the people that was in the Pooh Shiesty mask actually walked in the car. They might even be able to keep following and tracing it back to where they actually see the dudes without the masks. This is why they raided so quickly, because they found out that the person who's actually responsible or has some sort of fingerprint that they left at the scene, he left his footprint and fingerprint. His shoe mark showed it was a black Air Force One right there where he stepped out. They stood on business, man. One thing people got to know is that the get back for Young Dolph, a lot of people think this could have been that, but some people also think that Yo Gotti could have set up his brother. If y'all rocking with Young Dolph, put the dolphin emojis in the comment section. Let me know where y'all from. He's the king of Memphis, man. And one thing people got to understand is that all the PRE dudes, it don't even matter who's the one that hit Big Jook up. They celebrating because they know for a fact that Big Jook has something to do with the $100,000 that was on Dolph's head. Even Grove Hero said himself, he put 40K on his head and 100K on Dolph's head. And so they knew that Big Jook was actually the main, like, actual mob boss type of person in Memphis. Yo Gotti never did any of the stuff that he raps about. It was actually Big Jook doing all that stuff. So when the people that came and slid on him, they knew that they had to take Big Jook out first before they go to Yo Gotti. And now that the feds see that this all is connected and intertwined, and it all started off from Yo Gotti beefing with Young Dolph, they're going to go after him, and the feds are going to raid, because the reason they raided the concert is because they found the probable cause from the witness footage that showed exactly who Yo Gotti was communicating with that night. And then that person went and hopped up in the white SUV. Maurice Hill and the people from the cookie shop was right there when this all went down, man. One thing you got to understand is that 901 Trigger Trey and Raven, they know the dudes who ran up on dude. And Big Jook and them, he was not just alone, he was with another person. So how did the people that Big Jook was with end up like getting hit too? And then the other dudes ran off. One thing you got to know is that they was watching everybody. They waited for them to come outside after going to the whole morgue like ceremony and everything. Big Jook was in a tuxedo. They said he hopped in a Tesla, and that's when the white SUV pulled up to them, literally right next to him head on, and they rolled the window down like they was trying to get an autograph for Yo Gotti or Big Jook or something like that. The next thing you know, all you see is the muzzle flare flash out the whole window, and it was tinted window, so they rolled it down, and then you see it stick, you see the whole K round stick out of there, and it blew back Big Jook's whole Tesla, literally drained the battery and everything like that. One thing people got to understand is that it was a whole lot of karma from the situation. Big Jook and Yo Gotti involved themselves into a beef where they were actually on the wrong side of everything. This is why all of this stuff keeps happening to CMG. The ghost of Young Dolph is looking down, and he's laughing at Yo Gotti right now, because he knows for a fact that it's an even playing field now. They just upped the score on CMG, and PRE right now, they seem like to be the one who's actually up on the rise, because we seen CMG fall and literally hit rock bottom. Moneybagg Yo left CMG. The only artist they really had is Glorilla, and she signed for 60,000, and so it's like her whole phase, the whole Glorilla trend, it definitely went downhill now. After like Ice Spice came, she replaced Glorilla, and so blacyoungsta left CMG. He literally got kicked out, and then blacyoungsta's brother gets hit up, and then 2 months later, Yo Gotti's brother gets hit up. This is all connected. It's got to be the same dudes, because it happened the same way. Blacyoungsta brother was walking out the store, And they try to say that he was trying to grab something, that he seen the window cracked at one of the cars and he was trying to break in, and then that's the excuse that the people use to blast him off the earth. And that's the same thing that happened with Yo Gotti's brother. He came out the whole ceremony thing after like paying his due diligence, condolences and all that, but then he ends up going like getting rushed back in there in the casket. So one thing you got to understand is that it was karma from the situation, how Yo Gotti's brother and Black Youngsta's brother both got hit up. Now guess who's next? It could be Black Youngsta next, it could be Yo Gotti next. What do y'all think about the situation? Do you think it was karma that Yo Gotti's brother got hit up? Because he definitely involved himself in the Yo Gotti and Young Dolph beef, even to the point where Young Dolph had to speak on how Yo Gotti's brother is actually his big sister. This is out of Dolph's mouth, man. So you know that for Dolph to say that Yo Gotti's brother had to have tried to do some shiesty type of stuff to Young Dolph for Young Dolph to feel like that back at him, because Dolph don't just pick beefs for no reason. He knows that the people he's beefing with don't actually like him, and that they're the ones who really started the whole feud. Because a lot of times when they said it was over the Yo Gotti baby mama situation, the baby mama was choosing. It's her fault. One thing you gotta understand is that you can't trust anybody out here, and the females are the number one downfall for most of these dudes who come out of anywhere. Really, when you really look at it, it was not worth having them do that beef over the female. They was trying to, Dolph would have came together and gave Yo Gotti an opportunity to work with him, but at the end of the day, Yo Gotti was willing to literally like not even feed his team and not even put on the artists that he promised to put on. He was willing to throw them out into the wildlife, into the streets, just to be able to have some sort of finesse over the Young Dolph contract. And Jay-Z wanted to sign him too. This is when Young Dolph got wise, and he knew that if them two was so thirsty to work with him, then he was worth way more in actual reality. So Dolph knew that at the end of the day that he was just gonna keep 100% ownership of his whole self in PRE. This is where keyglock comes into play. Once keyglock signed to PRE, that's when Black Youngsta signed to CMG. Now keyglock and his brother, they're gonna pull up. Like, keyglock brother was right there, literally was like had his back turned, and he was walking backwards away from Big Jook, because he knows the dude at the funeral. So when he seen Big Jook step out, keyglock brother walked backwards, and then the rounds went off. It was like 17 shots out at the whole AK and everything like that. Then next thing you know, boom, the whole Tesla battery like start smoke about to blow up and everything like that. This is when Big Jook's security guard tried to make a move, and then he get hit up too. Everybody started running and ducking. It reminded them of the situation that happened at the Privé restaurant. Why is it that every single place Yo Gotti and his people go is something that goes down? It's either get back from Dolph, the karma from Dolph's ghost haunting them, or just the fact that they actually is getting the consequences of the repercussions. Like, the whole universe is basically sending a message telling them to get out of Memphis. When you get the bag, you're supposed to move out the hood. And I understand Big Jook and them was supposed to come back, and you know, it was one of their people that they knew that passed and whatnot, so they went and showed up. But you can't just be riding around in a whole fishbowl Tesla. The Tesla had no tint on it, and Big Jook is 6'5" with a polished head. He's big, like they know who he is. His name is not Big Jook for no reason. He was a big dude, so he was easily spotted, and he didn't duck in time, and neither did his security guard. Should have been on point. Like, what's the point of having a vest on and you still get hit up, man? He didn't wear a helmet. He should have had a helmet on. At least he would have been able to take the hit, and then maybe before Big Jook got blown up, he would have been able to actually try to get back the dues or whatever. But either way, they do sped off and they dumped the car somewhere. Next thing you know, they found the getaway car with like a whole dump, they threw gasoline on it and lit the match and literally left, and they had another car pick them up. Once they called a Uber, they called the Uber to pick them up. This all got caught on the Skycam footage where it shows what happened to the white SUV, the Ford Explorer. After they left the Big Jook scene, they took a right and went down the main street. They hit a side road, went to the expressway, then got off off on the freeway and then merged onto the highway so that they could go on the interstate. And then once that happened, they exited and went to a, like, literally in the hood, they went to North Memphis and they dumped the whole getaway car and literally soaked it, doused it with like 5 gallons and then lit the match. When they hopped in the Uber, the feds tried to trace the Uber and the Uber came back to a fake name. Exactly. So they had this whole thing planned out. So obviously Big Jook's hit was planned by somebody. Was it Yo Gotti? Was it the PRE dudes? This is what everybody's trying to know. But if you a Young Dolph fan, I want you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment with the Dolph emojis. Put the 222s in there. Let me know where y'all from, who you rocking with. And at the end of the day, one thing you got to understand is that this is a revolving door situation. So you have to subscribe and keep coming back to find out the big breaking news updates on what's going to happen with this. They're about to do a whole entire conference about this. They're doing the whole like the interviews and everything. They're going to come and speak. The mayor is going to talk and everything like that, and they're about to try to figure out what new information they came forward. They put up a reward. It's a reward right now of $35,000 for anybody who's got the footage of exactly what happened, and they're going to buy it for you from $35,000 to find out exactly if it leads to somebody getting captured by this, they're going to pay the reward. So everybody in Memphis right now is looking at it like people in Memphis know who did it and knows what's going on, and so they're contemplating whether they want to take the reward money to like fess up and say it was this dude or that dude. But at the end of the day, people know that this was karma, and it could have been get back for Dolph, but also disguised as a setup from Yo Gotti from putting Big Jook on, because they all falling off, so they all need some sort of thing to get the boost up. And guess what? It got people talking again. Yo Gotti got booked for a show. These janky promoters, they wasn't booking CMG at first. Now after all of this happens, it's got a lot of buzz and attention, so it went down. And at the end of the day, when the feds raided the concert, they took all the jewelry from CMG, they took all the stuff backstage, and 8 CMG members got rounded up and basically taken into custody because of their affiliation with the dudes that they found that allegedly did this to Big Jook. I want y'all to subscribe to the channel, man, like this video and share it.